All right, we are live. Welcome to episode 6 of Better Call Saul, Wexler versus McGill. And it was a great episode. I really enjoy this episode.
Mhm.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to the teaser. And my freaking god, I love the teaser. We get to see little Kimmy, little Kimmy.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, that was great. At first, I thought, "Oh, is that Kaylee?" And I thought maybe it was Mike getting ready to pick her up, but it
Yeah.
wasn't. But it wasn't. We found out, and she was waiting outside of the middle school, waiting on her mom to pick her up, and her mom was completely late, late. And we found out that her mom was drinking and driving. And Kim realized that and told it to her face that I'm walking home. And she went home to walk home.
Yep. Yeah, I thought it was Kaylee at first as well.
Mhm.
And then when the mother addressed the little girl as Kim, I was like, oh, that must be a flashback of Kim.
Yeah. So we get to see Kim as a little girl and her relationship with her mother. And it's like, I want to see more. I want to see more of this because it seems like her mom is like, a drunk who every guy she sees. And we
Mm-hmm.
see Kim. She's like she wants to do her own thing. So she is like, I'm not going to drive ride with mom because she's been drinking, and so she made her own decision, and we see her making her own decision of walking home instead of having her mom drive her home.
Mm-hmm. It was a great teaser. It really was.
Yeah. Then we get to the episode itself, and we see another flashback, and it's little Kevin and his dad, Kevin from Mesa Verde,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and the Mesa Verde commercial from like the 70s. And that commercial is the whole plot of bringing down Kevin, taking down Mesa Verde. And we see Saul and a team of UNM students to recreate the commercial, but having these people to come in and out of the commercial saying, "Oh, Mesa Verde took my money and fund terrorism," and like Kevin's dad, Kevin's dad had his pants down, and I could see bare genitalia.
Yeah, we do
So,
see. We actually do see the ads later on in the episode.
oh my, I love that ad. It is like, it's Saul at his finest. I mean, only Saul can think of this crap, and it was so freaking hilarious.
Mm.
But before we get to the ads and everything, we see Kim talking with Jimmy, and she doesn't want to go through this, so she decides to settle, tries to settle with Mr. Ackard, and she
Mhm.
tells Jimmy not to do this whole stunt. Don't do it. I just want to, settle and get this done and over with. And he agrees to that to a point. As we find out later in the episode, that he continues on with the whole commercial and the whole bringing down of trying to bring down Mesa Verde.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. It was pretty interesting. Him working, he's just working with these average schlubs. So these are people who supposedly were victimized by Mesa Verde.
Yeah. Oh my, that I can't think of, I cannot help but think of that ad, and it was so freaking hilarious. I laughed so hard at the ad, and and these people are like, freelance actors or something, and he like pays them in pizza to do this ad.
Oh,
So it's great. It's freaking genius. It's borderline genius. It's God. But before we get into the whole confrontation with Saul Goodman and Kimmy, we see Saul representing these hookers, and he and we see Saul, saying, "Hey, how much for the hour?" And we think, "Oh, Saul's going to get lucky," but no, he takes the hookers to where Howard Hamlin is meeting Cliff. Ed Begley Jr.
and
He's
Big League
back.
Junior.
Ed
Yeah,
Begley
yeah.
Jr. He's back, which is great. So he takes these hookers and he sends them into the meeting with Hamlin and Cliff. And these hookers come up and say, "Oh, Howie, you owe us, Howie."
Yeah.
And we see, and Hamlin is just like, red in the face. He's there with Cliff. Everybody is watching this whole confrontation out in this restaurant. And I love Patrick Fabian and his line delivery in this. He's like, "I don't know who this J Dog or Tugboat is." And then we see they do this transition into Jimmy, and he's in there in his car with binoculars, and he's doing commentary, and his commentary is so freaking hilarious. It was like, oh, he's doing commentary. He's like, "Oh, Cliff, these aren't my hookers. My hookers are taller."
Yeah.
Oh my god, Thomas Schnauz, he wrote this episode, and he's done a lot of episodes with Breaking Bad. This writing was so freaking hilarious. I laughed so freaking hard throughout that whole scene. But the thing is that what are they going to do with Howard? You know, is Jimmy just going to harass Howard with all these schemes that he's conjured up, or is it going to be, one final confrontation between the two? And I hope there's another confrontation between the two.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we see Jimmy harass Howard a little bit more before we get to the confrontation between the two, and Jimmy's decision of going back to HHM.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty funny. The dialogue with with Jimmy. Jimmy's like, "Oh no, Cliff, these weren't my hookers," or something like that. I mean, of course, Howard.
I love the commentary.
Howard didn't know who they were anyway. Howard had no idea.
Yeah, this was a whole scheme conjured up by Jimmy to harass Howard.
Yeah. And we also see
What made it?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was going to say what made it even hilarious is that when we first meet Howard and Cliff in the restaurant, Cliff was telling Howard that the judge that he shook his hand with was leaving with his office assistant, 26 years old.
Yeah. One thing we do see Nacho in this episode meeting with Gus.
Yeah, and I really enjoy that scene as well. And Nacho was telling Gus the whole plan that Lalo had, which was he was going to make his customers sick. He was going to poison the food to make the customers sick. He was going to uh, like do something with the money, and he just laid this all out. And Gus, didn't say nothing except for next time you report to Mike.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Yep.
see Mike back on the side with Gus again.
Yep. Which I think this is a much more permanent arrangement between Gus and Mike. Because
Yeah, I believe so.
last time it was kind of temporary. It was kind of temporary. It was kind of I need you, you need me type thing.
Hmm. Yeah.
Kind of an alliance of convenience. This time it's I think Mike is fully committing this time.
Yeah, and I think so too. And the main reason is just because of Lalo.
Mm-hmm.
Mike has to team up with Gus to get rid of Lalo. And we see that in the playing out with Nacho and Mike when Nacho, explains to Mike that Gus, plans on killing his father. And Mike tells him, just roll with us until we get rid of Lalo, then we'll take care of Gus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it was a very interesting meeting between them.
Mhm. And then we see Mike become Detective Clark, PI.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
He goes to the library to interview this woman who witnessed the murder that Lalo committed last season with the boy in the whole travel shop and location.
Mm-hmm.
And he's Mike conjured this plan up to get Lalo off the streets. So, which was to get the information from this woman to give it to the detectives, which we see a Breaking Bad character in the scene. One of Hank's friends, or I think it was his boss, maybe one of his older bosses, or one of his friends, Detective Harris, I believe that was his name.
Mm-hmm.
So we see him, and we hear an interesting phone call on Detective Harris, and he was talking about a possum. We do know for a fact back in Fly, Jesse talks about a possum and his aunt. So, what if that was Jesse or Jesse's aunt on the phone talking with Detective Harris about the possum?
Yeah, that would have been a nice little Breaking Bad Easter egg.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
It's already a nice enough Easter egg seeing the detective. You know.
Yeah, so as a win, because what Mike's plan was is to get Lalo arrested. So Lalo gets arrested in this episode, and
Mm-hmm.
I yes, I don't know if you've seen the previews for next week's episode called JMM, but I'm thinking get Saul to represent Lalo, or Lalo
Yeah.
call Saul to represent him.
Maybe.
And this
Hey,
go ahead.
JMM now stands for Justice Matters Most.
It does. It does. I was getting ready to say, I wonder if this whole Saul representing Lalo is going to be the the starting point of the whole introduction to Saul in Breaking Bad, where he said it was Nacho. It was Nacho. You're not Lalo? This was Nacho, not Lalo. When Walt and Jesse kidnapped Saul, and he thought it was Lalo kidnapping him, and he said it wasn't him. It was Ignacio, Nacho. So this has to be the starting point of what happens in the season 2, episode 8 of Better Call Saul of Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm. Very well could be. So finally, we get to the meeting where it looks like Jimmy's going to settle.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he's going to finally say, "Hey, yeah, of course, he was late for the meeting.
Yeah.
He finally gets there, and then this is where we see him do a complete 180.
Yeah.
And he runs the ads. He shows the ads. He says these ads will run in every station from Albuquerque to whatever, to Dallas or whatever.
To Arizona, Utah, and I think like around the surrounding states of New Mexico. Yeah, I love that he said that you can go ahead and take that DVD. I got thousands more made.
Yeah.
which was funny because it kind of parallels to the whole season 5 of Breaking Bad when Walt made his confession and he blamed Hank for everything. And Walt said, there's plenty of DVDs. He's going to send it out to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that might have been a little callback to that. But I love this. I love the whole meeting between the two with Kim and Saul, and this is not
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy McGill. This is Saul cranked, saying, okay, would you settle for some amount of money? And then Saul counter offers to $4 million.
Oh yeah.
And then that's when Kimmy was like, okay, what the heck?
Yeah, Kim was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, this blindside and the episode, but we see Jimmy during these commercials, with all these whole bunch of different people and these claims against Mesa Verde. It was so freaking hilarious, and Saul was just savoring every moment of it. He was just he was loving every second of it. And then we get to the main thing that Kim had in store. What was the whole copyright infringement with the photograph?
Yep.
And Saul mentioned that as well. And Saul was like, okay, you know what? This horse and guy seems kind of suspiciously familiar. And he showed the photo and it matches up. He said, we're going to sue you for copyright infringement. You're going to have to take down every horse statue and toss a blanket over the big one. And then that's when he leaves. And Kevin is here.
And Shane Stradamus called it, by the way. You called it.
I know. There was a lot of people in the Better Call Saul groups that said copyright infringement, and it was like, okay, maybe that's where they can go, but I thought maybe it might have been more extreme than just a simple copyright infringement, but they went with the copyright infringement, and they did the commercials, which was kind of extreme too. And so,
Yeah.
so Saul leaves, and Kevin is just furious at this point. I mean, he is freaking furious at all of this, and Kim doesn't know what to think. She's furious as well. You know, they're all together, and Kevin excuses himself. He calls Saul, which we see Saul's number 503 503
505 503 4455. And by the way, you can call that number and you'll get an answering machine message.
Yeah, I called it, and it was like, it has Mesa Verde, did you wrong? Leave a message after the tone.
Yeah.
And this was Saul's actual number in Breaking Bad.
Yes, it was.
So what Thomas Schnauz, the writer of the episode, said he pulled the number from an old Breaking Bad script as a placeholder, and he didn't know they was actually going to use the number, so they used the number anyway. So there's Saul's number.
Yeah.
So Kevin calls Saul, and Kevin does the deal. You know, Saul, does Saul, and he convinces him to do the deal.
Yep, he did. He said, "I'll make sure that these ads are not played anywhere other than beyond this room, beyond that room, rather."
Yep. And you know that Saul probably did have multiple copies of the CD or the DVDs. But he only brought one, and he's just lying, saying, "Oh yeah, this is not going to go anywhere." He's the ultimate bullshit artist, which is so great, so freaking great.
And then Jimmy attempts to apologize to Kim. She's like, "F you, Jimmy."
I love that. I love that line from Ray Seahorn. That was great. Yes. So Kim is furious and pissed off, and she says, "You made me the sucker. You and Saul did it." And Jimmy's like, "No, I did it for your own benefit. I did it so you can have plausible deniability, because Schweikert was catching on, and I did it because to save you." And Kim, kind of like Walt, says, "I don't need you to save me."
Mm-hmm.
So she drops the M bomb on Saul, saying, "We need to end this or get married."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god, are they going to actually get married? Is actually Kim in Breaking Bad, but we never see her, and Saul's actually married to Kim in Breaking Bad?" All these things is like, going around, because we know for a fact that Saul in Breaking Bad, he first he said he had 2 ex-wives. And then Breaking Bad, I think in season 3, where he said he had 3 ex-wives. And we do know for a fact in season 1, he does mention 1 ex-wife because the whole Chicago sunroof. Because he does the Chicago sunroof to the husband of his ex-wife. So that's his first ex-wife. And then in Breaking Bad, he said he caught his second ex-wife sleeping with his stepdad. So is that going to be Kim? Is Kim going to sleep with Saul's stepdad? or maybe Kim might be the third one. Maybe Kim might be the third one. But yeah, it was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it from the flashback to Kim to the hookers. I mean, there's so many memorable moments in this episode.
The bare genitalia.
And I love Kevin's reaction. He said, "My father never did that." Oh my god, this I love this. I got to give this episode at least nine out of 10.
Yeah, definitely.
9 out of 10.
My father never did that.
Mesa Faraday took my money to fund terrorism. So, oh man, so next Monday's episode will be the fallout of all of this, including the whole thing with Lalo. Like I said, I think Lalo is going to recruit Saul, or Mike is going to probably get ahead of this whole thing, Boo, because we see Mike, I think, call Saul up and said, like, he's got a job for him, and he gives him this stacks of papers, saying, okay, this is what you have to do. So I think Gus and Mike is going to recruit Saul to represent Lalo to get either him in prison or get a sentence reduction or something. I don't know. But that's my prediction. Any predictions for Monday?
Well, I mean, your prediction could be right, but it also could be something else. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes the show throws us a curveball. So, but it is an enjoyable episode this last week.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was going to say something. I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah. And the fallout with Kim and Jimmy being married. We do see in the previews them both standing in a courtroom. So are they going to get married in the courtroom?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get into The Walking Dead, Michonne's last episode.
Yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit slow at first, and then once it got into when Michonne was drugged and she was hallucinating, I really enjoyed that whole sequence. I loved every bit of that.
I know. Yeah, where well, it started out. The episode started out with like a what if scenario. What if she left Andrea?
Mm-hmm.
What if she had left Andrea to defend for herself
Yeah.
against those walkers? What if she'd gone down that path? What if she joined up with Negan? They explored that, which I thought was pretty interesting. That was in
He was like, you know what? Yeah.
in the hallucination sequences.
Yeah. And I love the hallucination sequence. And I love when Negan was like, you know what? I'm going to let my trusty right-hand man make that decision. And he gives Lucille to Michonne. And Michonne makes the decision of who to get Lucille.
Yeah.
And then we see in the hallucination where Glenn and Heath goes to the satellite. And then it's Michonne in the bed, and she kills Glenn and Heath.
Mm-hmm.
She shoots them.
Yeah. And then there was also, and then Rick actually turned out to be the one that shot and killed her.
Yeah, go ahead.
As I say, Rick was the one that turned out and shot and killed her.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of tracked her down.
Yeah.
There was also a scene where she was like one of the individuals wandering the roads. She's like, wait! She's like, wait! She's trying to get Daryl's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl gets in the car and drives away.
Mm-hmm.
after the car got stuck.
Yeah. And Negan was the one that found Michonne
Yeah,
and gave Michonne the opportunity to become a savior.
yep. I mean, I didn't know what to expect from this episode. I was like, I didn't know about the hallucinations,
Hmm.
but it was very well done. It was very taut.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing I did not like about this episode was that since it was Michonne's last episode, is that she, we didn't see her interact with Carol. We didn't see her interact with Daryl. We didn't see her interact with, Judith only via walkie-talkie.
Hmm.
I wish they would have, brought Michonne and the whole, Hilltop and Alexandria together and have her mention to everybody that, hey, I found some clues that Rick might be alive. I'm going to go after him and I'm going to find him. And then that's when she leave. That's when she should have left.
Hmm.
Bring everybody together, tell them what she found. I'm gonna punt, Daryl or Aaron in charge. I'm gonna go find Rick. But it's unfortunate they didn't do that.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of wish they'd done it that way. But see, this guy Virgil tricked Michonne
Hmm.
because there was no armory, or there were no weapons,
Hmm.
nothing. It was all a trick. His people were dead. His wife was dead, and everything.
Yeah.
He locked her up and then drugged her.
Hmm.
She eventually got loose.
Yeah.
But there were other people in there too. There were other people, not just Michonne.
Yeah. It was a team with Virgil and his team, right?
No, I'm talking about the people in the cell.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And these were just random strangers.
Hmm.
And Michonne decided to help them out. It was a good conclusion to to Michonne's story. I'm glad they didn't
Yeah.
kill her off. I'm glad they didn't kill her off.
Yeah. 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 The main reason why they didn't kill her off is they needed her to go forth with this whole trilogy of movies that they're going to do with Rick.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a very important piece to that puzzle. And they set this up, really great, with her finding the boots, finding a cell phone with Judith and Rick on it,
Yeah,
with Rick's name and then the drawing of Judith and Michonne on the phone.
yeah.
So we see Michonne contacting Judith with the walkie-talkie, telling her that she found clues that Dad is still alive, and that she's gonna. At first, she wasn't going to find him, but Judith convinced her to go and find him because that's what he would have wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But
So it was Judith's idea then.
Mhm. So it seems like they're going to set up Judith to be the one to tell everybody that Michonne is going to find Rick and that she believes he's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not bad, but I wish they would have, had Michonne tell everybody herself I think it would have been so much better in that aspect. And to see, that image of Michonne and the entire group one last time, it would have been a great, impactful, lasting image with that.
Yeah, well, that's not what they did. I mean,
Yeah, unfortunately. And
it
then,
was a good, it was
yeah,
a good episode. It was a great episode. I mean,
yeah,
I would give it I would give it a 9 out of 10 also.
yeah, I agree with that. I think it's for me. It started slow a little bit, and then once when Michonne was drugged and the hallucinations came on, it picked up its pace.
Hmm. Now tomorrow night, as the preview, according to the previews, they do put Alpha's head on the stake.
Yes, Beta is aware that Alpha is
And
dead.
and Beta finds it. Beta finds the head.
And Carol's the one that punted on the stake.
Yes, Carol put it up
Yes.
there. Yep.
Oh my God, that was great, great, great. Because she was the one that found Henry's head on the stake. So
Mm-hmm.
what better way for her to get her revenge than to punt Alpha's head on the freaking stake so that everybody knows that she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then
So it's
tomorrow's
like we finished Michonne's storyline in one episode, and now we're moving back to the aftermath of what happened to Alpha.
yeah. And the episode is called "Look at the Flowers."
Oh yeah,
Where
that's
have we
right.
heard that before? Where have we heard that before? Carol.
Yeah,
Okay, Lily. Look at the flowers, Lily. Look at the flowers.
Lizzie. I thought her name was Lizzie.
Oh yeah, that's right, Lizzie.
Yeah.
Yep, Lizzie. Look at the flowers, Lizzie. So this seems like tomorrow night's episode is going to be like a Carol centered episode because of the whole Alpha and her punting Alpha's head on the stake, and then we see that Beta finds it.
Yeah. What is going to be Beta's reaction to finding it?
Mm-hmm. And then are we going to get more information on who Beta is? Because we know 2 weeks ago the guy recognized him. Some guy recognized him.
Yep. I wonder myself if we're going to get any further information on who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's obviously somebody well known.
Yeah.
At least in the Walking Dead world.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, who do you think Beta is? Who do you think Beta is?
Oh gosh, I have no idea. Obviously, some kind of I'm not sure if he's a celebrity or what he is.
That's what I have to go with because it has to be somebody famous that everybody knows.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that too. Some sort of celebrity.
Mm-hmm. Because they had to survive in the zombie
Mm-hmm.
apocalypse.
Yeah. And we also know, breaking news, that the season finale has been pushed back because of the whole coronavirus.
Oh boy.
Yes, so they haven't finished editing the season finale yet, so they have to push it back until this whole virus thing is over.
Mm.
Because it was originally going to be the 12th of April, but now they have to push it back.
Mm. So I guess they're going to air the next 2 episodes. There's 3 episodes left this season.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Look at the Flowers is going to air tomorrow, and then the Tower is going to air next week, but the season finale is not announced.
That's going to suck because now we got to wait for the season finale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this whole coronavirus has messed everything up. I don't know. Did you catch Talking Dead? They
No.
did it from Chris Hardwick and the guests did it from their living room. They did it via
Yeah,
webcam.
I saw a little bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah, they did it from the webcam from their living rooms.
They did that with was it Live PD Wanted earlier this week too on A&E.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
You know what? Since I don't know if did you see Dark Side of the Ring?
Yes.
Yeah, I did too. Let's talk about that too because that was emotional,
Yeah, it
impactful.
was.
It was man gut wrenching at some points. Uh, they did it. I loved every minute of the best documentaries I've seen about the whole Chris
Mm-hmm.
Benoit uh, murder suicide, and they had Vicky Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, Chris Jericho, Daniel Benoit, one of his son,
David.
David,
Yeah, they had his
his son.
son. They had Nancy's sister.
Yeah, I didn't know she had a sister. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Yeah, and it was like they interviewed some of the detectives on the case too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was really great. It was really well done.
It was.
And then when and I talked with you about this last week, but when Chavo talked about how he found Eddie in the bathroom floor, and Eddie basically died in his arms. Oh my! I did not know that at all. That
I
was
know.
that
I
was
didn't either.
that was damn. That was tough. That
Mm-hmm.
was tough to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that.
I haven't seen that. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty good. It was Chris Gethard, although his last name is Get Hard, GETHARD, Get Hard, but he pronounced
Yeah.
it Gethard. So the next episode is New Jack.
New Jack. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, freaking New Jack.
Yeah.
He is one freaking badass dude. I mean, he stabbed a dude in the ring.
Uh
He freaking stabbed the guy in the ring.
huh.
That was the mass transit incident, right? From ECW?
Yes. The mass transit incident. Yep.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. He freaking stabbed a freaking dude.
Uh huh. That's gonna be crazy. There is a shoot interview. It was him and Iron Sheik and Honky Tonk
And
Man
yeah.
several years ago, and it was crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, freaking New Jack. He God. And then
What? Your sound dropped out. can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
All right, yeah, we got you now.
All right, great. Let me use that. All right, so yeah, after New Jack, it's the Brawl for All. You remember the Brawl for All?
Yeah, yeah, that was a bad concept for WWE.
Yeah, so Vince Russo has to be on that one. Jim Cornette, oh my God, I hope he's on that one.
Yeah, well, yeah, Jim Cornette wasn't a big fan. Was not a big fan of the Brawl for All.
Yeah. I know you've seen Brian Zane, right? Wrestling
Yes,
with Regret.
yeah, yeah,
He
Wrestling
did a,
with Regret.
yeah, he did a whole episode on that, the Brawl for All.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah,
It was great. Yeah, that was a good one. And
he's
he does
actually
go ahead.
he actually had Jim Cornette on his show.
Yeah. He does a good Vince Russo impersonation too.
He does a good Jim Cornette.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, it's like his son, right? That's the
Yeah,
whole thing, his son.
his illegitimate son.
And then we got so yeah, they got Jimmy Snuka, uh Dino Bravo, David Schultz, Herb Abrams, Owen Hart, and Over the Edge, and the Road Warriors are the
Ooh,
episodes. Yeah,
those are gonna be
yeah,
good.
yeah, but yeah, the part one and two of Benoit was just it was great. I love the whole episode.
Hmm. Yeah, it was great.
So I think that's pretty much it. I think we discovered discussed everything.
Yeah,
So yeah, tomorrow is look at the flowers. Monday is JMM, and then we'll discuss Dark Side of the Ring again with New Jack.
yeah.
I actually I saw the first season of it, and it was good. It was really good. They did a
Yeah, I like the
phenomenal
first
job.
season. Now, Jim Cornette was on the episode about the Montreal screw job
Yeah,
because he was there when that happened.
yeah. He wrote it, and Vince Russo was too.
Uh huh.
And you know, here's the thing about Vince Russo. He kind of gets a bad rap. I mean, you know, just let the dude do his own thing. Let him do his own thing. He may have
Hmm.
killed WCW, but you know he does. I don't know if I don't know how much of an honest person he is, but he does tell some good stories. He
Hmm.
does tell some good stories. Whether he's being honest about it or not, they're still pretty good.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we'll come back next week for another episode of the Saul Goodcast, talking Better Call Saul, The Walking Dead, and then Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, so I think yeah, that's going to do it for us tonight. So on that note, good night, everybody. We'll see you here. Excuse me, next week.